Good evening. My name is Steven Crone.
Go.
Good evening. My name is Steven Crone.
I'm Scott Binsack.
I'm the founder of S&S Capital Investors. We have a division called the Hometown Revitalization Group. As you may or may not know, a lot of things come to light, some that are true, some that are not true, most of which have been unfounded facts and allegations that have come out against us. So we wanted to take this time to get the truth out to you, the American public, and expose all the corruption that's going on around this town.
The corruption is so serious that on August 20th, 2012, on the cover of the news item, which is a division of Shamrock Times Communication newspaper, I was published as if I was already in jail and being arrested as of the day before. These articles are from 2007 and wantonly reprinted by another writer via David Falchuk of the Scranton Times and reprinted in 2012 as if I was just arrested. And I just recently even just came from someplace and the person said, I thought you were in jail as a result of a 2007 article wantonly reposted on the news item, another division of the Scranton Times, i.e. Times Shamrock Communications. I'm coming before you tonight to finally straighten this out, not to defend myself, but to get the truth out. In 2006 and 2007, I had a major corporation named Mansions and Estates International, LLC, out of Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, Scranton, which is now home to, as quote from the FBI, one of the most corrupt counties and cities they've ever found. The county commissioners have been locked up and prosecuted and are soon to be behind bars, or if not, they already are. All of this has come to light because Steven Crone and I, as his consultant, put together a prospectus to revitalize the city of Shamokin and Cole Township. Not using city funds as purported in this newspaper, not using anybody's local funds as purported in this newspaper, or in a joint venture with the city of Shamokin, but via our own channels through private investment. We've already purchased properties, Mr. Crone's purchased properties in this area, as well as I have. This has gotten out of hand to the point now where it has affected Mr. Crone's family, who has an impeccable record, has now affected my family, who after 2 years after being falsely arrested and accused of crimes that were dismissed in the Court of Common Pleas in Lackawanna County, after numerous appeals won in the Superior Court, of which I represented myself, a few alleged bad checks came out of this. Checks that if the documents are read by the affidavit sworn out by the Lackawanna County DA's office, clearly prove that when the date I was arrested in July were not even bad checks. These checks reflect return to maker because it was a forged signature on the check. The checks came back on the same day that I was arrested. It's impossible under Pennsylvania law to be arrested on the same day if a check is returned. This is not even considered an NSF check under law. This is referred to maker because the signature did not match. I was arrested and within 72 hours my multi-million dollar company was stripped. Bare bones. The district attorneys put locks on the door, would not allow my employees to enter, called Bank of America and told them not to release any of my funds, and even told that to the former Attorney General and my attorney at the time, Ernest J. Priet. They told Ernest J. Priet, if you call that bank and take any money out of that account, we will prosecute you. There was no court orders in place. There was nothing in place. Mr. Falchuk, the staff writer for the Scranton Times, the sister paper of the news item, has got this personal vendetta against me. He is obsessed, like paparazzi, that you cannot believe. He continually reports fabricated stories that I was in New York and arrested in New York for fraud charges and jailed there. I would love to see the evidence of that, Mr. Falchuk. I've called you out numerous times on my former radio show. I've called you out on the telephone, and I've written, as well as you've been sued in federal court for the same articles you have rewritten again. And it has now cost people a lot of money, as well as disturbances in our families. Mr. Falchuk won a Pulitzer Prize for placing me on the cover of the Scranton Times over 40 times. Yet not one of the articles that he has stated, not one of those evidence, of the evidence presented or the alleged charges have come to light. Mr. Falchuk has made me out to be some alleged career criminal. I would love to see it, because when you run my record, and I have had officials run my record shows 2 arrests, misdemeanor arrests. This needs to stop. David Falchuk needs to be stopped, and he should be stripped of his Pulitzer Prize. Now, this town of Shamokin, and the city of Shamokin, excuse me, and Cole Township, of whom we've come in and nicely approached them with a very good plan to rebuild this city. This city is distressed. This city is in need of serious help. And everybody keeps asking Mr. Crone and I the same question. Why Shamokin? Why Shamokin, Steve?
Ask him one simple question: why not? No one else is doing anything. Nobody cares about these townspeople. We believe in doing things the right way, finding homes that are distraught and run down, fixing them up the right way, getting the right types of tenants in there, and doing right by the people, and trying to form a solid community that's solid as a rock from the base up. There are a lot of people that have come in this town. They're taking advantage of these poor people. They are bringing in people from outside of the area that are keeping it depressed and running it down even more. As you will see as we go on, the levels of corruption that are going on in this city are shocking to me. I've been all over this country, all over this wonderful country, and I have never seen some of the things that are going on with local business owners and local families. It actually almost brought me to tears.
And yesterday we started filming a reality show called Something is Smoking in Shamokin. And the reason for it is not for fame and glory, but to finally show the truth of what goes on in these small cities, from Lackawanna County to Luzerne County, to judges selling kids for cash. And if anybody does their homework on Google and types in kids for cash, they'll find out judges were selling kids for millions of dollars. Okay? And people reported it and reported it and reported it. And nothing was done until the national press took over. These judges have now been convicted of said crimes. This continues. It's in these small towns. We want to bring industry here. We want to bring jobs here. We want to bring new construction here. We want to get the slumlords out of here. And ever since we have started this, Mr. Falchuk, once again, has blown it up as if it is something that it is not. Not even close, because he has a personal vendetta against me. It is clear that this man is obsessed to the point where he contacted the Security Exchange Commission of Pennsylvania. They showed up at my door. I showed them the documents, and they then put us on the telephone with their boss. When I spoke to their boss, and she spoke to the agents, and they saw the documents, they said, "Wow, Mr. Binsack, you are not part of this corporation. You are a consultant to this corporation. Steve Crone is the owner of this company, and that the prospectus as such then is legal and can proceed, because under the law, if you have a single entity LLC with less than 5 members, you are allowed to make an offering of units or shares." This is the truth. So now the Security Exchange Commission, we've complied, we've given them their things, and we have a clear light from them with the prospectus that Mr. Crone has developed, along with my help and several other people's help. Something seriously is going on here. Today we were filming locally, as you will soon see on our pilot of our reality TV show, and you will see citizens all over this city complaining about the corruption, from the magisterial level to the mayor level to the city council level, down to the slumlords, all the way. It's amazing. And it seems that they want to keep this city depressed, not raise it up and create jobs for these citizens that desperately need jobs. But instead, they will purport on the cover of the newspaper and spend all their time and energy on this, and take the word of a newspaper reporter who has gone out of his way to even reprint this story in Florida, where Mr. Crone lives, to try to defame him in Florida, where he is a well-known title agent, has a well-known title company, and has a clean record. Now it is affecting his job and his business and his family because of one single reporter, David Falchuk. David Falchuk is out of control, and he is making people believe something that is not true. This reporter needs to be stopped, as well as so does the corruption need to be stopped. And we believe with the reality TV show that we are creating, that America can finally see firsthand what happens in these small cities. Shamokin was the #1 coal producing city in the United States at one time. Under us is gas, natural gas. Under us there's mineral rights everywhere here. There can be jobs here. Walmart has moved in here. Rite Aid has moved in here. Big anchor chains have moved in here. If the city would cooperate with not just investors like Mr. Crone or myself or other outside investors, as they tried to do in the past, the city continually shuts down any new type of business to come in here. And we're asking the question, why? And we keep getting answers as they want to keep it depressed so slumlords can continue to buy properties at low values and not fix them up and bring them to where they should be, and thus bring up the area, create jobs.
So what we're doing and what we're asking you all to do is join in the effort to support this town, support our efforts, support our causes. Stand by us. Please spread this to your friends and family and expose them to what's going on here. Because united we stand, divided we fall.
And please follow this reality TV show that will soon be up within a week. You will start to see the beginning episode and then thereafter several more. And we're also going to be including individual, basically testimonials of several individuals who are fighting up against this corruption. And one man is actually going to jail for 6 months, is almost about to go to jail for 6 months for standing up for his rights against a local magistrate, which the Pennsylvania Judicial Board, and I have the documents, which he presented us today, prove that he was right. But once he filed the complaint against the local magistrate, his life changed. The police started to show up. He got accused of alleged crimes that he never committed. His fiance is even going through the same type of things and has been arrested. Today we went to City Hall, correct? Within minutes of going to City Hall, and as you'll find on videotape footage, the police were called because we were there. The chief of police and 2 other officers showed up just as we had left the building because somebody had called them because we were there to simply ask questions about our prospectus, as well as quotes made in the newspaper by city officials, and in particular, one particular city official, and nobody can answer questions. Strangely, within a half an hour thereafter, I had a dumpster with a permit in front of my home. A 20-yard dumpster because I'm renovating my home. It was gone. It was stripped. The code enforcer called up the dumpster company and had them remove the dumpster from front of my home, and is telling me now that I'm not allowed to get a permit for another dumpster. I'm a citizen. I've given City of Shamokin almost $1,200 or more over the past year for a dumpster in my house while I renovate my house to bring my home's value up. Now they're telling me as a citizen I can't get a dumpster permit? Is this America? I think anybody could get a dumpster permit from what I understand from the law. How can it be that reporters can keep printing and printing and printing and printing not the truth? And nobody does anything about it. And when questioned, the newspaper does nothing. Times Shamrock Communications does nothing. They continue to allow this reporter to write false accusations. He actually states in here that I was in a motorcycle accident in 1999. I have never been in a motorcycle accident, ever in my life. The lies and the misquotes and the exaggerations and the slander are so severe that, and this man won a Pulitzer Prize off of this. And this is what he's trying to do again. Build his own credibility from a small town newspaper into somebody over this. And tonight I couldn't even purchase something because the person believed that I was in jail. And to one of my associates, and they said, Scott's in jail, we can't sell you this, etc. I'm not in jail, I'm right here. Steven is right here. Steven flew in from Florida to come and face these people and question these people. And people need to understand what the truth is and what is not the truth. And that is the problem. People read this because it's false and they believe it to be the truth, instead of simply doing their own due diligence and their own homework as a reporter should do. We wouldn't have this problem. And it's happening across America. And Pennsylvania is, as per the FBI, and you can research what I'm stating to you, out of Scranton, They said that Pennsylvania and the East Coast belt down to the Central is the most corrupt areas they've ever seen in America.
So here's what we need from you. We need your support. We need you to write your local congressman, congresswoman, and bring some attention to this poor town. The people need your help. We need your help. We need your support. Write to us. If you know of any corruption going on around your town or around this city, please let us know. This isn't the only place that we're going to fight for. Because if we don't fight, nobody's going to fight for us.
And we've been thanked for it all day. We've been quoted as nothing, as you'll see on film. Thank you for doing this. It's about time somebody stood up to do something about this, because I can assure you there is definitely something smoking in Shamokin. And it is something deep, and there are payoffs going off here. They are demolishing buildings for $98,000 that should cost $23,000. They're not getting the appropriate bids as is in accordance with state law in Pennsylvania. The same things that similar county commissioners and others were doing in Lackawanna County, who are now behind bars for the same. And this, it cannot go on. And I'm tired of totally false accusations being reported about me in the newspaper. And I challenge you, David Falchuk, to prove the statements that you stated in here backed by evidence, backed by my own NCIC criminal record. I challenge you and I dare you to prove what you have stated in these articles over and over and over again. And if you cannot prove it, then I believe you should be stripped of your Pulitzer Prize, because it was gained on fraud. And you call me a fraud, you're the fraud. And you hide behind your paper, and your bosses have to have a screw loose to keep you there at Time Shamrock Communications. And I'll say that, a screw loose. Because if I had a reporter working for me that wrote false accusations about anybody, you would have to go. And I'm telling you that straight. And the local reporter, Eric, from this news item quote, and everybody quoted us actually around town, we don't believe anything that paper, correct? We don't believe anything that paper writes. Why? Because it has the same history of purporting things out of proportion.
So stand by. We hope you like what you see. And again, thank you for your time. Good night.
Good night.
All right, there. That's good. Did you hit the ball?